We believe that fantasy gaming currently draws funds out of the state of Iowa, and that if it was regulated, fantasy gaming was regulated in the state of Iowa um, through statute, that it would provide and yield benefits both to the local gaming facilities and communities, but also to the state of Iowa.
And I also understand the city is asking lawmakers to consider an increase in the local option sales tax. Why is that?
We consistently ask for the ability to increase the local option sales tax from 1% to 1.5%, with 50% of the yield going to property tax relief, because we are being impacted by the commercial property tax reform legislation that passed several years ago. And over a period of time, that's going to hit our budget to the tune of millions of dollars. And so we'd like to increase the local option sales tax, as I said, to reduce the tax burden on local property tax payers, residential property taxpayers, but also to address our unmet needs in the capital improvement projects on our streets and roads and public facilities.
And then I also understand the city is asking that lawmakers consider a change to the law to allow local governments to use a land bank. What is that, and how would that benefit the city?
The city would like to work with the state to write legislation allowing local governments or nonprofits to create land banks that could more expeditiously move abandoned and blighted property into developers' hands. This would help us in our neighborhoods that we're trying to improve. It would reduce emergency calls, and we think it would keep costs in line with a more affordable cost for developers and also for individuals to purchase land and improve it.
And then lastly, I understand that the city is also asking that lawmakers increase the E911 surcharge. What is that, and why is the increase needed?
There is a surcharge currently on telephone use, and that surcharge, a portion of the surcharge goes to the state and a portion comes back to local governments. And this past year there was bipartisan support for an increase in the surcharge that comes back to local governments, because we have been mandated by the federal government to improve and upgrade our emergency radio systems. In order to do that, the city and county of Dubuque are going to have to split a cost somewhere in the range of $3 to $9 million. The additional surcharge money that we had passed in bipartisan legislation last year was vetoed and scooped at the end by the governor. And so we're sort of left again with an unfunded mandate trying to find these funds, and so we're going to go back this year and try again to both get an increased percent of this surcharge to return to local government.